we should probably continue from where we left off last. Oy, oy, the loading time is a bit long. Hmm. Let's see. All right. All right, so last we left off, we had defeated the first signs of Ulstryx, this sort of chaotic, demonic figure. And as we did that, peace persisted in the land. For 10 years, our characters grew older and wiser. Going from top to bottom, we have Robban Luva, our uh, oh God, I'm already forgetting everything. Luckily, I have this beautiful history here. Yes, the Forger, the Ranger, the uh, not a specific gendered serious character. We of course have Britt Marie, the hero of all of our hearts, the Swedish warrior, here to protect us all. Elvis Presley, as Marcus or me thinks he was in life. And then of course our uh, gothic witchy woman. After 10 years of peace, it seems like the creatures have begun to stir again. Um, and if we look at the map, actually the first thing we can do is recruit a new companion. I think we'll head over and do that. I had a feeling it's Tukani that you've been writing an answer this entire time. All right. Wait, sorry, I'm actually going to read this and try and understand it. Well, I don't understand it, and that's totally okay. We have enough points to get a new recruit. What does anyone in the chat have a specific feeling for this character? If we have a lonesome ranger, a beautiful, perfect warrior, Elvis Presley, and a gothic character, what else do we feel like we're missing in this little motley crew of individual adventurers? I'll just hit randomize until something inspires me. Robban does deserve better. Is there a character that we feel like we could introduce to this group that would make Robban feel a bit more loved? Give them a proper kind person. We should have a teacher, I feel. This would be a cowardly intellectual, like a really nice, like, like the teacher you remember when, when everything comes to be. I like this blue hair, so I think we're gonna keep it. Is there any changes we need to make to this character to make them a bit... Does anyone have like an actual name of like a teacher that inspired them in life? We can sort of pay homage to someone who did well. Otherwise, I do think I have a name that would suit this character. Okay, I will say, while Elsa Marie is a good name, would that mean that she is part of the Marie family? Like, is she related to Britt Marie by any chance? Oh, she lives down the street from you, actually, like currently, still? Like, do you run into her and she says, "Oh my, how you've grown"? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll add on to the lineage. Elsa Marie. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this character? I can read her history while you were. She was your dad's teacher as well? How how old? Oh, I guess she must be up in her years now. That's crazy. Did when you first became like a second grader, or did she like know your dad? Did she remember your dad? That's so funny. Thank you for sharing that. So our current history, the procedurally generated one, is Elsa Marie was born the last child among a snow of siblings. Among a snow of siblings? All the children were lost to illness at young age, save for her. Long fond of town life, she got sucked into a journey once with a small caravan of tradesfolk. Even after she tended to seek the road with life under roof grew stagnant, she was driven to adventure by her need for allies in a world that grew even more dark and dangerous. Um, it's Tukani. Do you have any modifications you'd like to make to Elsmeri, or does she already look perfect to you? Traveling teachers. I'll change a little bit of her backstory so that she is a teacher still. Can you describe this haircut to me in any way? Gray hair, a bob with blunt bags. Okay, well, let's see what we can do hair-wise. Oh no. Okay. I will say that any description of any hair immediately eludes me, and I'm just sort of lost. We have a lot of hair options too. A short bob. She had cute little glasses. Okay, I think I know what a bob is, but honestly, the more I think about it, the less sure I am. I wish I could Google, or wait, maybe I could actually just quickly look up what a bob is. Feels a bit embarrassing though. Is that what it is? There's no way. Okay. Give me a hot second. I'll try to find something. Is this a bob? I mean, based on the pictures, it's very unclear. I don't know if I can give her glasses either. Sadly, glasses just might not be an option. I think everyone here just has perfect 2020 vision. It's more of a pixie cut. Okay. Oh my god, this is really challenging my my haircut knowledge. Uh, now I can. While we're talking on hair, I've been wondering if I should get a mullet. I'll just put that in the polls. If you're curious, you can type one or two to answer this poll if you think I should get a mullet. It's been on my mind. I don't know why. I feel like I would suit a mullet, especially now since I'm going down the electrician path. Maybe a mullet would make people trust me more, I feel. I feel like if I show up for an electric job, they're like, okay, so the junior guy is here. Where's the actual electrician? And that's my biggest worry in life. Short bob with bump bags. I will absolutely do that. Oh, I've seen this haircut 1 million times. Yeah, we're locked in. Uh, this is probably the best we're gonna get. Uh, no glasses. I'm gonna keep the blue hair. Well, maybe it's too similar to what we got going on here. Maybe we'll have to make it. You said, oh, you had something. She had cute little glasses. She wouldn't have her gray hair just yet. So she would just have the brown hair at this point. And we'll change up her face just a little bit. No, I didn't like that quite as much. I don't know what like a teacherly face would be, but we will find it. Yeah, she seems nice. Great. Let's go for that. Yeah, I do voices on this, so if anyone has any inspiration for what Elsa Marie should sound like, please write it in the chat and I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll just wait for the first person. So far, we have a couple accents, a terrible Elvis and Presley impression, and a very sort of somber little voice for the blue-haired character Knox. But what does anyone have any idea what a teacher would sound like? I don't know if we want the uwu voice is I think I demoed it briefly in the last stream and I think three people separately wrote to me that they would not like that. Um, but I mean, I'll put it in the poll. Uh, voice for Elsa Marie. I'll do an uwu voice against my will. French. I can try. I'll add like a very calm and patient because I feel like, or maybe like overly energetic could be funny. Yeah. So I make polls for this. You can just write in chat whichever number is associated with the answer, and then it'll vote, and we'll just leave it open for a couple minutes and see how it goes. I'm waiting. What do you mean it's Tukani? If you want to vote, you can. Oh, some trials. Okay, sure. I'll start from overly energetic because I don't want to start with uwu. I feel like that's kind of cursed. Overly energetic would be like, "Hi guys. Oh, we're gonna learn something today, and it's gonna be great." Like kind of like I don't remember the name of the teacher who like shrunk the kids and would go and do stuff, but I feel like I'd like to try and channel her. Calm and patient would just be very like she'd be very understanding character and talk kind of like this maybe, and sort of be encouraging and nice and sort of a gentle rock amongst these other more chaotic characters. French is a bit tough. It's like, hello, we will learn about the stars today. I don't think that's French, but I'll go with whatever it ends up. And Uwu is more like, it's like, "Mm, well, of course we can learn about that, y'all. Mm, that would be really fun." Yeah, votes, please. Use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can get going. I just need something, or maybe people can't see it. 4, overly energetic. Thank you for saving me. It's Tukani. Well, we have just the one vote, so we will go with whatever It's Tukani wants. If you like that one, there's a 3-part series on the gifted flame of Snowglyph. That's top notch. Do you have like a spiral of stars? We do, but good luck getting a hold of it. Someone's always reading it. Someone. I think they have a really funny visual language in this game. I've meandered through these books so many times, content to imagine myself in fairy tales. People didn't actually tame gods or traverse the country to fight a dark priestess, right? But then Jailhouse Crew comes into being and, I don't know, maybe people do. For the record, the crew that we're running is our gang, our party. They're called the Jailhouse Crew, and they are somewhat renowned now after their heroisms in the first act of this game. Maybe I could. Maybe you could. Don't worry. If you don't feel battle ready right this minute, we can arrange for someone to train you up. It sounds intriguing. Great. We have made Elsa Marie a teacher, but that doesn't mean that she necessarily has to be a wizard. We could train her as a warrior, as a hunter, or as a mystic. Please use your votes, and I'll go whatever you guys feel the most. In terms of what we have currently, we do have 2 mystics, but I don't really think there's a lot of different balance of having different crew members. As a warrior, she'd mostly go around protecting and slaying foes with her sword. As a hunter, she'd be more into ranged combat or using like sort of alternative weapons like poison or torches and such. And then as a mystic, of course, she would be um, a spellcaster. In this world, mystics, they sort of connect to various assets of the world. So like chairs and barrels and stuff, and they can sort of almost enchant these aspects to strike back at foes. But for now, we have a split between hunter and mystic. If anyone else wants to weigh in, we could get this going. Uh, Great. We will have her as a mystic in that case. Our third mystic in this group. Else Marie, upon hearing that she joins Jailhouse Cruise, I guess just stares at some bottles with her stick. We will prepare her, which just takes up just a clean 15 days to do so. There's an opportunity. Okay. Reading is an escape for some. For Robban, it represents other lives they can freely live. There's no need to deny their hearts. The deeds and figures and stories have always been their guiding lights. The resinous candlelight sticks to their cheek. Digging up this library walled away inside a ruin, there was no question where they would spend the fall. Unfortunately, they've fallen into a rut of reading they can't climb out of. More of the same. There are some piercing green eyes again. And of course, their coy smiles. Always their auburn hair, their piercing green eyes. Hey, Robban, you'll want to see this. Another grizzled veteran showed up. Seriously? For once, can we have a veteran that's not grizzled? Oh, Britt, I was reading. I know, but what reading is, Robban. I can also identify when someone belonging to themselves is like a lunatic. What are you doing here? Looking for something fresh and original? Prepare to be disappointed. Robban reshelves the offending novel. I'm looking for you. Oh, me? Well, prepare to be disappointed. Anyway, look. I was nosing around here the other day, and look what I found. Saving the little book from damaging fall, they glare at Britt and then open to the marked page. Ah, this is just a map to the Library of Lights. It's a fake. It must be. Even I know it's just a story. Are you really this stubborn? We're talking about your dreams, aren't we? Oh, God. Oh, the following sound is so loud. Um, yeah, I mean, as always, I'll leave the options up to you. Do we want Robban and Britt to seek out the library? Yes, no. This will derail them for a little bit of time, leaving the rest of the group sort of to maybe fend on their own a little bit. It's okay. I forgot to fix the following sound notification last time, so it's totally my bad. Yeah, please if you can, vote in chats. I mean, it'll be a little side adventure, but it certainly sounds exciting for the two of them to go off on their own. Robban has been dealing with the sort of the leader of this group, Elvis Presley, who's a bit selfish and sort of self-centered, um, making it a bit tough for her, or for them, sorry. Well, we have one yes, so I'm just gonna go with it. Thank you so much, it's Tukani. Uh, all right. I don't want to send Elvis on this mission, so we'll just leave him behind and take Nox with us. Elsa Marie is ready for the adventure. Creates a bone, helps during battle. The bone construct. She can make a bone construct? Yeah, we have to do the bone construct. Um, while this is happening, so while these two go off on their adventure to search for the Library of Light, we're actually gonna have these two other characters scouting out the location. In this game, we're able to sort of split the party whenever we would like. Old pen shop room 4. A wise man who lived in Skybarrow told me this. Every worthy legend has 100 good variations. According to most tellings, the Library of Light was carved whole, shaped from a single limb that fell off the Tree of Stars. Mostly say the Watchsong sorceress Rumdana Zillenfeld brought the library into being. Some storytellers have it that she beguiled a great god and tricked him into performing the labors, then bound him in a wine flask and cast it upon the eternal sea. One version has her drinking Mulnish mead in literally every scene. I suspect advertisers are behind that one. There's the one where she visits the spirit realm. I don't remember why, I just... Jesus Christ. Thank you for following. I don't remember why. I don't think anything happens. Maybe she just wanted to visit. There's many versions of Rumdana, but I prefer the stories that paint her human. The stories have always been like starlight, scattered and small and uncertain. But bound with the magnetism ground that draws the fragments together, becomes this single childish hope, this enduring, embarrassing sense of what if? Can you imagine it? A limitless and ever-growing trove of books, every volume that's ever been written, every scroll, every epic. Britt takes a moment to think about it. They'll arrive the next day. How should they spend the night? Okay. Weird. How do they spend the night? Talking? Or being very Swedish? Yeah, please write. Do these characters just wistfully stare off into the stars, sort of like any Swede at a bus stop, or do they take the American route and have an actual conversation while they're waiting? Okay, let's do just that then. I think that's also the more interesting option, so I thank you for that. They talk under the flickering fire. The fire's high, and their differences seem tonight like strengths. The night gives them courage. But the next morning, they'll reach their goal. and find it guarded. A mission begins. As Britt Marie, Robban, and Nox find themselves facing a hill guardian. We'll have Robban approach, taking cover and throwing out her traps, swapping to her bow and taking a little shot at this guardian. Britt Marie will have her move up and guardian, protecting Robban, and of course Nox giving them both a little protection as she fuses to this stone. Alright, with that, the Hill Guardian is easily defeated. We get a warding, a busk of divinity, which we can use to increase someone's magic armor. Raise your head if you knew where there's going to be a fight. Did you say raise your head? Raise your hand. Oh! Too late, it's not funny anymore. Oh wait, oh yeah, accents are hard. Rumdana Zillenfeld rather famously recorded that there were two ways a traveler would be able to locate her library. There's her saying, ever a north pointing compass tells you its own truth. Ever a stranger tells you hers, and an enemy someone else's. But ever a good friend lies. What a tongue twister. Right, good. So this standard gibberish. What's the second way? Just how big it is. The interior of the library is a symphony of sunlight playing for frozen ballads of crammed shells. Look at the carvings on the wood. Every space is crowded with volumes. Could get lost forever in here. This is what a dream looks like. Could you even dream this? And they both smile. The library was a dream. That's how it began. Why I studied magic all my life? Same as every magician. I wanted to make my dreams real. I didn't understand then. When dreams come true, the heart that was soft for seeds hardens against anything that might awaken it. The library was a dream, and that must remain, says Rumdana as a force ghost. Those who leave it will never find their way back. Robban? They've spent many days now in this library. We need to leave, Britt. Don't be stubborn, you old... Oh. Something I realized, I guess. I'm not sure when. A long time ago. Maybe. Grand times I've spent with books. Time I was alone with a novel, and a window and a rainstorm. I'm glad we came here. Glad we found it. Saw it all. I've always been afraid to write my own stories, afraid they'd end up nowhere and matter to no one. But I think that could be the next dream for me. They come back to the fire. Robban, what if you can't go back? In stories, isn't it the rule that you can only visit it once? You know, I've been reading since I was small. Books by heroes and half-crazies, fiction of all kinds and quality. What I'm thinking now is, it's time I start putting life into my own words. Robban is now a blue horn hunter. How has this time impacted her? Once per battle. We'll upgrade her ability to hide. Spending all this time in the library has not only extended her lifespan by 10 years, but has also allowed her to practice moving about quietly, as one would in a institute of learning. Having spent this time, we're actually going to have the group rejoin their companions. It's a bit of a travel, but it'll be well worth having everyone back together again. Meanwhile, the two characters who are here, oh, they can't do anything. My bad. We will continue to gather in that case. Hmm. Here they are. We'll have them patrol. Nah, we're 5. We can take on a bit of a tough assault here. Uh, a full party, finally. We will assault the Gloom Agents. The crickets are whispering, go to sleep, Robban. Time for camp, Robban. They're very convincing. Shall we? That clearing looks more than sufficient. Huh? Hello there. They see some sort of magical green butterfly. They all suddenly see many and get scared. Everybody saw that, right? Yes. Good or bad? Does that make it more or less concerning? I thought they were pretty. I wouldn't mind keeping watch while we sleep. Speaking of which, are we still sleeping here? After seeing that? You're... Wait, are you joking? I have trouble telling if Robban's joking. I can't believe they weren't joking. As they make camp in that little clearing. Fire's done. Aren't you going to sleep? Someone should stay awake in case these green drifters return. Suit yourself. As everyone falls asleep, Britt Marie watches over the camp and sees one of these green drifters. A large spiritual green entity meets her in camp. My messengers do not lie. Mortals sleep within my wood. Is that bad? There is no good or bad, only law. And law states that a mortal who sleeps in this place shall bear my mark. As they sleep within my realm, I may sleep within theirs. I knew something was off. I knew it, and... Oh, wow, okay. So this game has transformations, and this is our first one that we've encountered. In this moment, Britt Marie gets to choose. Does she yield herself and let herself become transformed by the spirit? Does she allow it to transform Robban? Let transform. Oops, I could write this better. Britt transforms. Robban transforms. Or Britt says no to the green spirit. Yeah, please vote once the poll is up. You can use the numbers or you can type out my incredibly long responses. You can use just the numbers that is right next to the answers. Transformations are generally pretty fun, but of course, if we want to avoid changing our appearance and sort of remain as the characters that we've kind of come to learn, then we can do that as well. There's no pressure to do any one thing. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go with that in that case. Thank you, the noob Audie. In this moment, Britt Marie will allow Robban to transform. Any mortal who sleeps. If you follow the letter of your own law, you'll leave me be. Feel free to mark Robban though, they're fast asleep. I've had it with having to pay attention when they won't bother. The creature marks Robban. Oh wow, it's actually going to... Ha! The next morning, oh wow. But you were up. Did you see anything? What happened? Robban has a fresh set of horns on their head. I have absolutely no idea. And the fight begins. I don't actually know what this transformation does for our character Robban in this situation. I guess we will find out. Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of like the combat of the game. It's not very interesting to me in comparison to the actual story. So I'll try and blast through it as fast as I can while telling some sort of uh, general narrative. But at the moment, we are simply clearing out the invasion of all the Gorgons that have now come into this land. And our characters are very proficient in doing so. We even have this new bone construct that has joined us from Elsa Marie that I don't know what its value is, so we will find out as time goes along. I suppose we'll have Britt approach, although it kind of puts her out in front of everyone. Elvis is surprisingly fast and also a bard, so he can uh, play a little ditty, one of his favorite Elvis songs, which will inspire the rest of the party. And finally, we can have Mox move up. We have a lot of wizards, so it's a lot of me enchanting various trees and bushes and such so that we can use them to attack the enemies. Shatter a tree, deal some damage to this little raccoon guy. Yeah, no, Robban is doing well in the looks department. The horns definitely add more of an androgynous sort of element to her character that I didn't really intend on her creation, but you know, I'm happy. I'm happy she's living her best life. We're gonna send a rock at this raccoon, hopefully taking it out. Oh, nice. Dealing a bit of damage to everyone here. We'll have Robban move up. She's currently invisible to all the enemies, so she will have. Oh wow, yeah. She just at this point she's a stone cold killer. We'll have to look after this fight if the horns actually add anything to her abilities, because I actually do not know at the moment. We'll... Oh god, it's a loud bird. We'll have Britt Marie move up, but sadly she's a bit slow. Not really able to help as much as I'd like her to. And for now, we can have Elvis. Sometimes there's spirits in the battle maps that we can actually approach to increase the capacities of our weapons. So in this point, we get the Fear and Sorcerer, which I suppose is a bit better than our current weapon. Call it the Water Hook. I'm not very good with names, honestly. And so far this fight looks winning, but the signs up here almost makes it feel like more enemies will soon approach us. So we'll play it a bit safe and just sort of take out everything before the rest arrive. Okay, not so bad. Elvis has actually this impressive aura that whenever he steps near anything, he just deals damage to it. So with that ability and his new water hook, he's able to take out the reinforcements. And with that, Nox levels up. Let's see. We'll keep her soul splitting up. The more things she connects to, the more defense she has against getting hurt. And at this point, we get a Hail Hammer, a quite rare weapon. Anyone who has this will have +3 to their spell damage. And no particular person here is more spelly than the other. We'll give it to Elsa Marie, replacing her two-handed scythe with this hammer. God, I'll call it the Costco hammer. Costco. Look, there's a candle in the window at Jim's. Let's go. Hi, Jim. We need food and ale. We've been walking for days. Right. Only the best for the heroes of the Gloom Ancients. And maybe we'll have time for dessert. I'm sure there's whipped cream in the kitchen. What is he saying? You know how much I love whip. What is happening? Oh no, not whipped cream. We'll be stuck here for days waiting for Elsemarie to finish cleaning her armor. What is that? What? Elsemarie has joined the party and her kinks have already been exposed to everyone? Oy, oy, oy. What is Jim saying? Um, I don't think I'm gonna let you guys trick. I need to know what happens if Jim says. I'd I would never it would never work. I'd have to buy more cows to keep her on whipped cream. Jim's whipped cream is the best in the world, but I'm just not ready to settle down. Love Oh, okay. They just abandoned all subtext. Oh Lord. Clearing this site, we are in a much better place. At this point, we could either make a bridge, which would take. Let's get started. How long would making a bridge take? Oh, just 31 days. That's easy peasy. We can bridge this little river just by spending some days. This game measures difficulty in terms of days that you spend. You can see that there's two counters here. One of them will be calamity cards that will make combat encounters a bit tougher. And this one over here is incursions, when a huge trove of enemies attack. And we might either have to go try and help people or let them sort of be destroyed. But as you can see now, a calamity happens, which means that enemies get a bit tougher. And as we continue to scout, we will reveal the location here. One fateful night. Something about that rock makes me shiver. A tall black finger of stone angles out of the earth, points to a pale bloated moon. Its surface should shine, but the stone seems to eat all light. It looms dull and terrible. Witch stones, they call it. Flinty and jealous, and ever hungry. You'll find them sometimes in worried places. It's said that if you don't offer it a joyous memory, it will lay a curse on your back. Um, oh wow, okay. In this moment, it seems like we enough romantic drama. That is true. From my childhood, I remember the X-Men animated show being like weirdly sexually charged. In this moment, one of our characters has to sacrifice a memory. If we don't keep going, it'll be Brit's curse indeed. Okay. Sacrifice memory. Oops, I can't spell. That's okay. Brit says no. Robban loses a romantic memory. Nox loses a familial memory. God, I really can't spell. And then, of course, Brit loses self-worth. Yeah, the poll will come up. You can vote with the number associated to the answer. And please do. Do we have any specific opinions about who should lose a memory in the situation? Oh, but Nox, it feels like Nox has so little family memories to give. Only because I'm a hater? That's super valid. Um, in that case, let's go with it. We'll follow your hateful spirit to the end of this journey. Nox's recounting is not long, her recollection perfect of the river where her family fished. On the rocks, over the water, yes, mother would play our flutes. Father would thread our lines. I don't think either of them knew what they were doing, actually. But I like how happy they look in the background. I just remember feeling like nothing was better. Nothing was better than sitting under the sun with them and letting the day slip by. She smiles, and then that smile disappears, as I'm sure the memory disappears with it. Did I... Wait, what was I talking about? They gasp. The stone is as black as a hole in existence. Hey, we get some legacy points for that. Great. I have a bad feeling because the incursion will start soon. I don't think we can finish all 4 of these encounters during that time. It'd be very nice to be able to scout here. Gorgons in great numbers move to attack your lands, driving peaceful folk before them, leveling homes and hallowed places. They'll be destroying sites, defeated by heroes in combat, or repelled by defenses you built. So the incursion starts here. If we maybe do this fight, travel back over, we might be able to get to the coal ottery and protect it there. Just because I think it'll save us a lot of time in the long run. Because even though an incursion is happening, another one is brewing. Uh, Doing this, we will just straight up assault this place. There's no need to wait at this point. Over rain and thunder, Nox steps onto a cliff, pouring out there, and lightning. You are right. Stormy, she says. Unfortunately not inspected, was it? The way to Witch Glen follows dead roads, long washed to chalkstone, wheel scars, and memory. The uneven fields beyond this gorge get swampy, especially in fall. They wade through the elbows of stern mystic timbers like soaked blanket. God, this little cave though. Oh, got this little cave, sorry, I'm slightly dyslexic. Has me curious. Yeah, wasn't opened up like this before unless I just missed it. Crack! Another forceful gust of rain comes chasing them, the rocks slick and fragment and dark. What's... Oh yeah, What's wrong? You too scared of the dark now? Haha. It's only a little, or wait, how far back does it go? Wonder what we'll find. Probably rocks. As they stoop out of the rain, crack! Another bolt of lightning. Crackle, thumble, thrum, scrack. The world gives a tectonic shudder, and from outside, obliterating the rain noise, comes the clittersmith of dropping rocks. Clish, bang, crickle. It's no time before they're buried in darkness, listening to the earth grumble and turn over. As things calm, gritty dust stings the eyes, stuffs the nose, smelling of fresh, split stone. Everyone all right? Everyone still here? That'd be a very lame way to go. Elsa Marie's me. I'm alive. Nox here. I'm here. Elvis. Luckily, the lantern's not dead or wet. Let's not lose this exit entirely. We're taking a longer look, I guess. Hey, is this worked stone? Yeah. Yeah, this way forks. We got stairs here. Should check those out. Yeah, the way forks. We got stairs here. Oh, well, just keeps repeating herself of themselves. And this is looks random, but some other passage. Cold draft from there. Very cold. If there's stairs, then a warm hand once carved them. I find that comforting. Yeah. Careful. Look under enough rocks and you will find a snake. Leave all stones where they're stuck, and you'll never make a trail. Oh, dropping wisdom. Let's see here. We'll have some choices. We can either clear out the entrance. Entrance. We could follow the chilly path, or we could take the ancient stairs. Please vote in the chat. Just type a 1, 2, or 3 based on what you want the characters to do. You guys know your choices. Thank you. We will take the ancient stairs. Yeah, I know. There's something in these old stairs that invites me down. Edges crumble, but the steps mostly hold their shape. Time is louder on a stairway than it seems anywhere else. Scuff by scrape, down they go, touch by touch by touch. Finally, their lantern cast flies out across an echoing hall. This writing, what's it say? It's Darnik. I'd need time. And here is a majestic face. A stone behemoth guards the shadow. A gigantic hippopotamus statue with a sword and a book stands looming in this dark cave. The Moot, Tharik, god of rivers, words, and rhyme, and also justice? I think just general wisdom. And of marriages, right? So whoever wrote this game was was feeling something. The Moot also showed up to ruin doomed marriages before they could begin. He was an enemy of all betrayers. Bet I could climb it. Looking around, seems like a book is here. How old do you suppose that book is? Now there's a question. Too many knots in the timeline. Put Tharnland, maybe before, maybe after the Koreans. Kiorans, sorry, I said Koreans. Oi, oi, oi. Robban bends for the book. It'd been leaned unsacredly against the altar's foot, warping its spine. They open it. They're going to mess this up. One word on the first page. Gnaud. Guawanaud. Theric, is that you? How? Two or more casts of light that overlap become the same general radiance. That is Gnaud. What about the thorns that stirs your heart like this? It's, well, I don't know. Crack, rumble. Almost immediately as Robban utters the word, the whole mountain seems to sigh and then starts sagging inwards towards the temple vault. Elvis, put it back, Yep, but replacing the book fails to halt the awful groaning noise of the collapse. Tremble, smash, the steps that came down are buried in a fast-growing boulder cloud. Are we dead? New bones scattered among old. But no, wait! If this once serves as a temple, it should have a through door. The Theric religion empathized passage. The going forwardness of... Yeah, is this it? There is a stair. Better than standing around to die. Thrum. But how did I just leave? I'll never find such a place again. And what did it mean? Crinkle, grum, rumble. The statue of Theric stands over as the word is uttered again. Gwynaud. Crunkle. Crack. Robban. Come on. Blam, strackle, bash. Chustle, whoosh. Yarg! Robban. Glash. Ick. Nox drags a half-crouched and bleeding Robban down the shallow stairs of the passage. By any gods that are including those Thanaric ones, you're lucky that they didn't take your head. I'm okay. Slow, because I grabbed what I could, as Robban reveals the book. I really should have known. Anyway, there's daylight ahead. Need help walking? Well, it's also weird, Hey, you hear that? What happened, Robban? Alright, there's water noise. Lush burble. They emerge from the buried crossroad in sight of Witch Glen. Unseen above the roving things that wait. Robban gets plus 0.5 potency as the book seems to have elated her. Thar's Accordia. Let's see. It increases max interfusions. That's really fun. I think what we'll do is Nox is really good the more interfusions she has, so we'll replace her rope with this neat little book as the assault on the Gorgons begins. Okay, all of our heroes are actually invisible at the moment, so we can set up in a way that will benefit our heroes as they are immediately surrounded by all the forces here. We'll move Britt Marie. Actually, maybe I'll make Britt Marie visible So it feels like I want the enemies to come to her. I'll once again have Elvis play his swell song and interfuse with this lovely tree over here. Nox can move up slightly. We'll have her interfuse with this rock pile and throw a rock at this raccoon, killing it in just one attack. Elsa Marie, hidden, allowing her skeletal construct to go ahead, will connect to this lamp and interfuse with this stump. And finally, our assassin here will move up slightly and then take a shot at this large creature. I understand the risk. Bim bam boom. The Bogmore is dead. And the rest of combat proceeds. A large boar approaches, taking Britt Marie some damage. Our skeletal bones construct his attack as the row makes its way up. And many, wow, many more enemies appear. In this case, I almost want Britt Marie to remain here. She'll strike this Ragger. I think if we have Elvis move through here, he'll just kill it with his aura. We'll have him interfuse to this tree so we can splinter blast these two raccoons here. The skeletal construct is not all that useful at the moment, so I'll just have it play sort of sentry engage. What does that do? Oh, cool. It can sort of goad enemies to attacking it. We'll try that. We'll have it move back a little bit because I feel like it's just only in danger at the moment. Nox moving up feels a little scary, but she should be okay. If we have her interfused with this, we could throw another rock. Maybe hurt this raccoon bad. Oh, wow! With another rock, she one-shots a raccoon. Elsa Marie will move up here, withdrawing her... Oh, wow, it's a loud bird. We'll have her attached to this rock over here. And of course, we'll have our hunter, Robban, move up in the shadows, unseen by any enemy. Okay, never mind. Someone saw her immediately. Elvis's aura deals a good chunk of damage. I'll have Elsa Marie throw a rock at this Ragger. If I have... Oh, Robban has horns now. Wow. Strikes in with her horns, knocking it back, dealing damage. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Robban just headbutts this boar to death. That's a free attack as well. Wow. She is... Or they are killing it. We'll have her attack this raccoon, which will avoid it. That is not good for Robban. Britt Marie absolutely murks this row, giving Wolf Call to all of our allies, which will speed them up. If I have Elvis channel to this, he should... Ah, so close. He takes out one of the raccoons, leaving one left, and we want to take it out before it attacks the Robban. Oh wow, he can do it twice. Oh, okay, go Elvis, go. With that, throwing two rocks, the combat is over, and luckily no casualties have been suffered. Britt Marie levels up. Thundering Challenge Sharpshooter. I don't even know if she had those. Oh yeah, we'll keep... You know, we like our Wolf Call. So Wolf Call is her sort of ability that whenever she kills an enemy, she howls like a wolf, giving all of her allies a bit of extra movement. Now, though, we have to kind of handle this Gorgon storm. So I guess the first thing we'll do is just travel as close as one can get to where it's all kind of going down. As So you can see the red footsteps are sort of moving along as this horde moves towards Coal Ordery. And I guess the best thing to do is prepare defenses around it. We'll prepare tier 3 defenses, since it looks like, it feels like we have time, but I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, I might get a little close here. Okay, we were only able to prepare tier 2 defenses, and we will see how this goes. The incursions are just generally pretty large attacks. The Gorgons have come, rotten odors roil thick as steam. An undulating animal moan is born in the air. Is born in the air? It grows and grows with a thunder of mismatched feet. How should the defense respond? The human will is stronger than steel. Let's see here. I guess we'll pick an option. How to defend. Robban says, charge into battle. We have Nox. Knowledge of the land. Nox suggests using land knowledge. And Elsa Marie wants to remain hidden. Please, if you can, vote in chat. The poll should be up on the screen. Yeah. I guess if we don't have any opinions, I'm just gonna go for the thing that seems to be the most secure. But Robban, no, you're okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's hard to pay attention to when you have to interact with the ongoing elements. 2? Okay. We're taking the 40% chance here with using the knowledge of the land. Let's see how that turns out for us. Nox attempts to harass the enemy ranks, but winds up running for her life. She's unable to rejoin the battle for a lengthy spell. Perfect. I feel like, Woodpecker, you really don't like Nox, so you just want her to have as bad of a time as humanly possible, and I truly respect that. In this fight... Oh, don't worry about it. It's totally okay. In this fight, we're able to use other abilities because we're defending like a little town. So there are, I guess, supposedly archers somewhere that are firing a Gatling gun of arrows at the enemies. Not really the most exciting part of this game, the battles, but luckily I'm somewhat decent at this game, so I can get through them fairly quick. As our characters, we have a couple extras. Look, we got Silney Griff, who's here to help, taking out one of the raccoons. We'll have Robban move into safety and security. We'll have Britt Marie move up to protect all of our little friends here. We have Avnik, some guy with a stick, who will move up here. Elvis, who will move up to protect Robban. And we'll play his little ditty. Oh, okay, I should have played that before, but that's okay. The construct will just sort of be sacrificed. Yep, there it is. And then, of course, Robban will take a shot at this Bogmore. Avnik. Oh god, yeah, you're right. Poor Avnik. The headband does not do him a lot of service in protecting the world from his receding hairline. Unfortunate. But, you know, you gotta, in this world, you really have to do what you can. We'll have Robban interfuse and throw more rocks at people. That seems to have been working so far in this game. Well, I shouldn't have spoken. We'll have Silny fire. I don't really know what else she can do. Once again, I think if Elvis just moves next to this guy, he will hurt him. Presence is all one needs to make a difference in this world. Robban will move around. We'll take a shot. Yeah, we'll destroy this Bogmore. And yeah, what we're seeing, we're doing well so far. Wow, with a powerful strike, Britt Marie destroys one of the rows. Crying out like a wolf, like all Swedes do after a fresh kill. Avnik, having not much to live for with his receding hairline, will charge face first into combat, hoping that his heroism will do something for him. I'll have Elvis connect with more rocks, and I think, honestly, we're just going to have him back up a little bit. Man, we have a lot of people in this fight, but luckily, boom, we have this bone construct to help us destroy the raccoons, and we're doing great, I think. Okay, this range, oh wow, he really went for the back line. Oh, wow, and this guy just appears out of nowhere. Elsa Marie, it's almost better for her to hit him with a hammer, so I think we're gonna have her do that. We'll have Silny move away from this creature, and she gets to shoot at it. We don't really care so much about Silny, but it's better for her to survive than to just lose her life for nothing, I think. Robban can sneak up and take a shot at this Bogmore, sadly becoming visible. With the wolf call, Britt is able to actually run up to this raccoon and we'll just take it down, no problem. Yes, Avnik, with his receding hairline, will take down one of the big threats, earning him cred, I suppose. I'm not sure exactly why he does it, but we're happy all the same. We could even have Nox just kind of come up and bonk this. Okay, never mind. If Elvis, I think, moves within its range, he'll just take it out with pure aura. And I think we're just going to have to let enemies come to us. We've kind of cleared them all out. Some of these incursions can be kind of rough, but for the most part, if you have sort of like defenses and people on your side, and they're not so terrible. I think this might be our last enemy as well, so I think we'll just have Robban execute it and move on to something a bit more exciting. Okay, with that is combat. Having now defeated the incursion, we get to continue on our little mission to investigate what exactly is the cause of these Gorgons to attack, but an opportunity strikes as Britt and Elvis have an idea. They find themselves fixing up a cabin. It's hideous, Robban. Said it'd be easy. Elvis, you are in here. Why are you in the shed? Didn't know, where this place was. Keep my boots in here, where they when they get gross. I'm fixing some of the weather gear. Summer's worse than last year. Hard storms are coming. That's good of you. No, yeah, that's a good initiative. If you're not pitching in, then leave it to me. Well, actually, I have a better idea. Save us some work. A trip to Lucaria Valley. We'll see the sights, eat good food, and ignore our responsibilities. Just for a little while. It's every Swede leaving for vacation in July. You know how it is. Smaller the group, better the conversation. Sure. We'll leave this up to the audience. Do we want Elvis? Do we go to Lucaria Valley? Yes or no. Elvis repairs cabin alone. Yeah, for anyone here listening, you can type 1 or 2 in the chat based on the little poll screen that has just appeared and tell us what you think we should do next. Thank you for voting on the more fun option. All right. With that, we will head to the city. I guess in their free time, they will head. Oh, it's so far away. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right. We will have the other two scout out another location. Why not? The story continues. A few days on the trail, Elvis and Britt are trekking through the woods. Stretches to a week. Easy to forget out here. That's something. And that week soon doubles, leaving Elvis Presley and Britt Marie trail sore and hungry. Farther than I remember, my fault. Yeah, I'll be blunt. A miserable idea. Thanks. They wake late, but don't hurry to start. You've been here before, Lucaria Valley? Nah, I've come close. Spent summer of 6 years ago here myself. Wandered there by chance. Easy place to let days drip by. Noon tipped over by the time they're on their way. And the old road dangles in the distance. Wild sage rules the wind. Gravel growls underfoot. Storm clouds come and can't decide where to spill. In the end, they heave their burdens elsewhere. Stream means we're a couple days out. Is it finally bath day? Hey-oh, wandering ones, says a pink-haired woman in modest clothes who spots them from across a wobbly raft rope bridge. Gee, who are you, a local? She picks her way over to them. Name's Wallel. Half own a road stop south of here. You folks look like you've done some scary stuff, fought monsters, or, roamers? We're heroes. You're catching us at our worst, or I'd be more plain to the eye. Hmm, sorry. Eager to know because listen, brigands came to our road stop, mine and my big brother's. Brigands! That's why they're called out here? Best I can tell, they're roamers from the west. No, Woodpecker. All the scenes can't be horny, I'm sorry. Came in and won't leave, drinking us dry, eating all we can supply. My poor brother serving them, getting all kinds of mistreatment and abuse. I ran to look for help. And well, what about you folks? You pry those brigands out and we'll reward you the best we could. Maybe a week's travel south is all it is. That's not so far. I can cook, though I don't have much food left on me. Opposite of where we headed. And we're gone a long time already. We'd never be able to leave this work behind. Not enough people can fight for themselves or are willing to risk it. Okay. Should we help? Sad question to ask. We help the people, or we ignore them. What do you guys think? Should we play hero and take an extra week on our journey, or should we simply ignore this lovely woman and continue our adventures elsewhere? You can vote in the chat if you so wish. Maybe if we help them, there's a chance we could have that threesome that you want, Woodpecker. Wow, never mind. You are just fully on the ignore train. That is all good with me. I don't really know. Like, it feels like in this game you fight like a lot of monsters. I'm not sure what a brigand would look like in this world. But at this point, you're the only person who votes. We're gonna do exactly as you please. Not this time, sorry. Instead of wandering the world asking for help, you should be there with your brother, resisting. What are you thinking? We go to night. Really got out of there quick, huh? Can't outrun the guilt, though, I guess. Why am I awful sometimes? But it's true, we can't fix everything. Scrahoo! From the dark comes a hungry, pebblesome voice and two fire-seeking eyes. How do regular folk get by in this world? We veered into a little too a little too near the toothy part of the woods, didn't we? They bend for their weapons. Anyway, regular folk run a lot more than we do. They're in such good shape. I'm not much for distance. That's what makes us fighters. All right, so instead of fighting brigands, we are instead attacked by a root bear. I don't see a root bear on the map at the moment. I'll play a song for the peeps. And I guess I'll just try and find it by kind of connecting with the nearby rocks. But it doesn't really seem to help all that much. Oh! It's very clearly there. In that case, we will have this tree splinter blast this. Oh, it's such a pretty creature. I'd love to have one as a pet. We'll have it engage with the bone construct as the fight continues. Sadly, Britt Marie is unable to move too close, so we'll just have her play sentry over here. Oh, wow, our bone construct is not very fortified. But luckily, Elvis, with his massive aura, is able to finish it off. A nice quick fight, uh, which is awarded by a lovely mace. I don't really know if we won this, so I think we're just going to salvage it. They're restless after that, wary of letting the fire reach beyond its cold. Too wary to let it go out. Idiot wild things. The next day comes as fog. Small rippling hills surround them. Feels like flies on a lake. Got cold, didn't it? We're close. This earth color's familiar to me. The road they're on is narrow, dust all fine and gray. As Britt rounds the next bend, a close knot of trees. The light spreads over her, warm and full. The two find a valley. Look up now, we're here. They both smile. This is. They move slow, like rainwater, absorbed into the sun-threaded slopes of Lucaria Valley. All right, in this moment, how do we do this? Do we want the two of them to spend this time together or apart? Please, if you want to, you can vote in the chat. Just simply write one or two based on whatever option you want. I mean, before 10 years ago, Elvis was a bit kind of kind of a shitty guy, but maybe these 10 years have changed him. Maybe before Britt Marie seemed to be picking up his pieces, but now maybe I also do not know who Elvis has eyes for at the moment, but we don't have to force a romance to happen. We can simply just let them. What do you think in this moment would be better for the two of them? You could type one, and we can see them spend some time together. Maybe they'll get closer. I mean, time together doesn't necessarily necessitate that they are romantic with each other. Or apart, okay? In that case, that is exactly what we will do. Spend time apart meditating privately and mending old dreams. Time glides by, counted in cloud passing, in shifting vigils of birds, in mellow chirps of crickets. The two of them enjoy their own time. See how this distance themselves from you, picking constellations. I'm your sister, Moon, aren't I? It's every woman's dream. What was that? Tomorrow's still the plan, right? I guess so, unless I decide to stay forever. How was the waterfall? Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the dialogue really slaps in this game, and sometimes the dialogue is a bit lacking. What? Sorry. Good. It was all good. The road going home is tougher than it was coming abroad. So that's Lucaria Valley. In a weird way, that's the closest I can get to family, to my true home. If I had a kid, I'd take him there. Yeah. The trip trickles to its end. All right. The two of them, I guess, just Marie levels up. I thought she got this bonus before. Um. Oh, wow. Giving her inspiration as other allies follow in her footsteps, they will be a bit stronger. And that's never a bad thing, as the three of them will secure this site as the others investigate Scalbari. We don't care if the enemies get stronger at this point. I think it is what it is. We will let time pass. Scarbari has been discovered. The campsite has been completed. We get some log and a silver bark scarf that will give a bit more block, which I suppose we'll give to Britt Marie since she's our frontliner. And I think we're just gonna have all of the party gather here in Redwatch Earthwoods. As we are running out of time, I think we might lose this game if we're not a bit more careful. But during that time, out scouting, Robban begins to feel a presence behind them growing. Robban, what do you sense? A single hushed snap in the surrounding forest floor. The menace would suddenly be everywhere, all around. Droven. Uh, I think the two of these characters, I think they would set some fires in their wake. Fire! Fire is what allowed us to ever rise. Blazes chew at the skirt of those high pines. Escape may have gotten more urgent. As I believe now our two heroes will be attacked by Droven. If we make it to this exit, we can retreat. We don't quite know exactly how strong our enemies are at the moment. And apparently they're not really anywhere to be seen either. But we will move up. There we go. We can interfuse with some of the items here. Nox has this ability where the more things that she sort of connects to, the more defense she'll have. One other Drow move closer, getting pinned by the traps Robban has left in her wake. I think we'll start with Nox to see if we can deal any damage here to any of these creatures. With that, yeah, with that combination, we can actually remove one of the Drow from the map entirely. Sadly, she will get harassed, which I don't quite know what that means. And as she gets attacked, actually, she protects herself. Robban does have her horns, so she can push this guy off if she manages to hit. But instead she'll switch. Wow, not a very good Robban turn. Instead, Nox will use the tree to pull this enemy away from them. We can't use our horns again for a little bit of time, so I guess we're just going to take a normal strike, which does eliminate the enemy. Stressful. But with that, I believe that we can gather once again. At the moment, our party is trying to get to Caratimber, where the infestation is growing from. But on the way there, we have to try and free all these various locations. Might get some more food for the fire. You're going to be up longer. Britt's already turning in. Well, sure, but that's Britt. Sure. Anyway, want company? Don't feel obliged. The fire and I have plenty to discuss. Elvis walks away and she seems to get a little sad. Rattle, clunk. More wood. Oh, thanks. The fire wiggles through the fresh wood, happy as a mud dog. She sits by the fire alone, starts to get tired. Her eyes grow tired, she begins to see things. Interesting. Either she has a dream of Drauven, these sort of lizard Dream of... Drowvin are these sort of lizard-like creatures, the one we just sort of had an encounter with. Or flickerings from Redwatch Earthwoods. I don't know what that is. Yeah, please, if you want to, Woodpecker, since you're most of the person here interacting with the poll. Yeah, put one or two and we'll see what happens next. Beyond that, this party, the jailhouse crew, they stopped this Gorgon threat, these sort of like abyssal eldritch monstrosities that have sort of corrupted the various wildlife here. And 10 years later, after they stopped it, they have come back. And now they are seeking to find the heart of what is causing this. Thank you, Woodpecker. With that, flickerings of Redwatch Earthworks. Elsa Marie watches a story take shape. In Redwatch Earthworks, there lived a young woman who had the makings of a mage. She'd been coaxed out of her mystical gifts of years. She'd been coaxing out her mystical gifts for years. She pushed and pulled energy from the rocks in the woods nearby. Her friends and elders hadn't seen such tricks before. If tricks they were, the young woman was a welcome curiosity. And as her skills grew, so did expectations. A defender of Redwitch Earthworms wears more than a wooden bead around her neck. It fits you well. But the Drowvin feet came stomping and scraping. She defended her village, but was overrun. As Elsa Marie wakes up, Elsa Marie shakes off the story's unpleasant end. The fire goes out. The next day brings bitter anticipation. Looks like they made a stand outside Redwatch Earthworks proper. Shirt snags and broken rattle hacks still around. They can't have been well armed. It seems to be familiar to Elsa Marie as she thinks about her dream from last night, seeing that very same amulet hanging on a rock. No petty piece of loot here. This should either be worn or buried. The necklace is sturdy, but Elsa Marie carries it like a broken winged bird. What you got? Let me see. Defender's necklace. I mean, I think it naturally should go to Elsa Marie, being quite close to it after her dream, and now finally maybe getting to take revenge on the creatures that had caused such grief in what was probably once a safe and wonderful little place. As Nox approaches, we can see that there are many enemies about, but as she normally does, she will throw a rock at her problems and simply hope they go away. With that said and done, Elsa Marie will approach, and oh, whoops, I think I accidentally took 2 moves on her. We'll have Robban throw out her traps and disappear into invisibility. If we move Britt Marie up here, she will actually inspire all of our allies. Keeping them at the moment close doesn't seem like such a terrible idea. As Elvis will connect, and the Guardian will move up. I don't know how worried we have to be about... Oh, we haven't seen a mage on the enemy side just yet, so maybe they'll be able to throw rocks at us just like we do to them. Seems only fair after the amount of rocks we've thrown at people here. We'll have her interfuse, move into Marie's spell range, and then throw a rock at the Drowvin, which evades it. I feel like we almost want her Robban to move closer to hit the Drowvin. Oh my god, with her horns. Switching to her melee weapon. Oh, whoops. Switching now to her melee weapon. Oh, she can't take an attack against it. I wonder why. Huh. Maybe the horns in this case counted as an attack? Either way, we'll throw out some more traps. Britt Marie will move, I think, just closer to the enemies at this point. Place sentry there. If Elvis moves here, he will naturally damage the enemy with his aura, and then we can have him slap it with his with his staff. Interfusing with this rock, and then throwing it at the enemy. Oh, Elvis is a really prolific turn there. But in this case, for the most part, I mean, it is just sort of doing your best until you succeed or fail. There's a lot of encounters like this, and I never quite know what to expect in this game. Oi, oi, oi. I might need to turn the volume down on some of the attacks here. They're quite sharp. Ambient. Okay, maybe we can just turn everything down a little bit. Turn this one down a little bit more. Okie dokie. We have a lot of wizards, so it's getting a little hard to keep track of which one is connected to what. But I guess we'll have her connect to this bucket and have the bucket hopefully take this guy out. Oh wow, that jumped really far. We can have Britt Marie, oh no, sorry, Robban come from behind, dealing a good amount of damage, and finally, hopefully, just finish this fight off with a strike. Nice. A common war flail, I suppose. At the moment, it seems just better to salvage this thing, which is exactly what we will do. The party continue. Someday people will move back to Redwatch Earthworks. The memory of Drauven will crumble and rust. Children will find homes for spirits here. Young people will build barns alongside their sweethearts. Old people will trade in iron and salt. And at the end, the oldest will die peacefully in their beds, the way it should be. You seem quite keen on all. Thinking of staying? It's too late for me. Adventure's been stirred into my blood. The best we can do is keep moving and hope to leave peace in our wake. With that, we have defeated another encounter and are closing in on the end of this adventure, or at least in this phase of this adventure. The travelers will go to Deer Nook, where more Gorgons have taken place. And we will... Oh wow, we are running out of days, so we just need to get shit done. Here's the thoughts. Maybe Deer Nook isn't as dangerous as we believed. Crick. Creak. Crash. Britt Marie, falls through a hole. Huh? Where are Brits? Down here! Britt's step has broken the hidden covering of a hunting pit, and she's fallen scuffling and scrapping into a dark rocky hole. Well, what's happened? How far down are you? Oh, far enough. I've been out of this way by myself. Could have died down here. We're close to where those things are spotted. If this is a trap, it's gonna race to get her out. Okay. At this point, we get to make a little choice. How do we deal with Britt Marie? Oops. Either Elvis saves her, which has a 100% chance of working, or we can tie a rope, or maybe we could just we could leave her there for bait. What do you guys want? At this point with the poll, you can type in the numbers from 1 to 3, and whatever has the most votes is, I suppose, what we'll just kind of go with. I don't... 1, thank you, thank you. I guess, I mean, yeah, if it has a 100% chance of working, why wouldn't we just see what Elvis does down there? Thank you guys for voting. It doesn't take Elvis long at all. He climbs nimbly down and helps Britt Marie back to the top. And not a moment too. Well, it's kind of underwhelming. I thought something was going to happen. But I guess 100% means 100% in this moment. A stone spirit runs through as Droven are here. This is great though. A lot of the conventionally like melee enemies are, or ranged enemies are right next to us. We can really just take our, well, never mind. Unless we're really bad at attacking as usual. We'll play our song. We'll have Elvis interfuse with this stone wall here and take a swing. Wow, finishing off the raccoon and hurting the row. Elvis will get some temporary hit points due to his cute little staff that he has. And I believe if we actually have him move next to this row, he'll just kill it with his aura. Oh no, the row is already taking some damage. That's okay. We'll have Nox do something similar. Throwing rocks at people really seems to be the perfect solution to a lot of our problems here. And with that, she finishes 2 of the enemies off. Elvis Marie has the chance to begin chipping away at this Bogmore. We'll have her interfuse with this clutch of mushrooms so we can pull it closer and pin it for this turn. As Britt Marie will begin approaching it hidden by hidden with her roguish abilities. Oh, our bone construct is mostly just something that takes a lot of damage these days, but I guess something needs to soak up damage in this little world. I think it's best if we take Robban first, and actually, might be nice for us to just kind of get the spirits. There's a spirit that we've been kind of chasing around the map, and if we catch up to it, we could get a nice little bonus for ourselves for later. I'll have Robban throw down these traps and then actually approach the spirit and see. God, it's hard to click through this rock. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to. No? All right. In that case, we will just. Oh, yeah, this rock is everywhere. Okay, we'll have them move here. That was a bit awkward, yeah. Our bone construct is terrible at everything it does, so we'll have Britt. If we have Elvis deal a little damage to this thing first, and Britt finishes it off, we could have her do her wolf call again, as all Swedes love doing. And, oh, I totally forgot what I was doing while I was talking about it. But that's okay. Wow, he is a monster, throwing rocks at literally everyone. Having Britt Marie finish off this Rager, she will do her wolf call, making everyone a little bit faster. And maybe Nox is just strong enough to finish this Bogmore off. Let's find out. Okay, is that all the enemies, I wonder? There might be more. Either way, we can move Elsa Marie up. Perfect. Maybe at this point we might be done and it's just we have to interact with this stone spirit. We will have it replace her, but she's more of a bow person, so we'll have her replace the farm bow finally. My God, what does this look like? A spiked bow, I guess? Alright, but hopefully now back to the story. I almost wish I could mod this game or something so I didn't have to do any of the fights. Alright. With that, we need to get to Kara Timber. We have 90 days before something bad happens. I guess the smartest thing to do would just be to build a pass there. Oh wow, it takes a lot of days. Oh, I'm looking a little worried. We've cleared all the sites. There's nothing we can do but build this bridge here and hope that we have enough days. Ooh. Oh no, are we actually out of time? 25 days. Wow, okay. Yeah, with 6 days remaining, we barely make it to Blue War Altar in time to in time to attack. I was imagining it would be quite so picturesque. Seriously, when do we get to show Uncle Ulstryx our weapons? The cavern of Sea Spire lies at the heart of a magnificent canyon. Sides of the canyon are smooth and sheer, marble blue and pink, molded and mushed by the hands of titans when the world was clay. Now the stone is hard and sharp and glows. But the canyon's deep places are strung with fragments, clear waterfalls, and ruffled greenery. The mouth of the cave is hidden, in damp shadow and fern-feathered shade, but Robban spots it. Continuing forward into this cave, it leads inside. Smell that. Doesn't it remind you of somewhere? It smells like the ocean. As our explorers continue forward, careful! There are holes. Don't know how deep they go. Robban follows their own echoes into the dripping depths. No eyes has scraped these walls in centuries. The air is pickled and still. It's smoother down here, but look at the ceiling. It seems to go up and up. Could be other tunnels. Something's glinting in the darkness. You see it. It's cold. Sinking to your bones, kind of cold. Can't wait to get out of here. Jump in a hot bath. Elsa Marie. This looks like the end of the tunnel. Carved. Carved and firmed and ancient. I just remembered now from last time, we're actually seeking a weapon that might help us and fight against the Ulstryx. And we find, oh my lord, a gigantic creature, a Caliban guarding this weapon. We'll throw down our traps. And actually, if we have... No, Britt Marie is in a good place, I think. But we'll have them move up, play Guardian. We'll have Elvis join this side, playing his swell song to inspire everyone, and interfusing with this ruined pillar. Nox will stand side by side with Britt, interfuse with this pillar back here. This creature is quite tanky. So even though we're attacking it with quite high damaging attacks, it does have a lot of armor, so we'll be able to block most of the attacks that we do against this thing. But it's not... I don't think this creature will stand much of a chance against our group, as we are hurting it quite greatly. Taking a very protective stance around this place, we'll finally end our turn by having Robban fire, dealing, oh wow, 8 damage to this creature, pinning it to the ground, not giving it a single chance to act. Britt Marie will step up and finish it off. And with that, the creature's defeated. Alright, let's get what we came for. Don't you wonder how that thing lived down here, where it came from? The air in this chamber is clear and almost sweet. The corpse of the great guardian shrivels inside its carapace. Robban approaches the edifice. The spear is glass-like, grand. It radiates legacy and power. It's just strange. What can this thing really mean to them? The poem is an oral heirloom. My guess is that the hero queen who wielded this lance in antiquity was actually a Gorgon. Interesting. Most stories are spun to suit the teller. So it's a kind of emblem to them. Maybe of a past hero. As Robban grips the spear, a noise begins to grow in the outer tunnels. It's the noise of feet and hooves, of tortured lungs shoveling air, and the slickling squelch of creeping things. By the sound of it, a horde of Gorgon beasts is pouring towards the chamber. We need to hope they don't cut off our escape. I don't think we'll survive if we stay here. She grabs the spear. The Petroglass Sea Spear. It's a two-handed weapon. And I believe, I mean, for anyone, it is a straight up upgrade. And it even has a range, so people can attack with this thing with far away. I mean, we've gotten to know these characters over this time. I don't really mind who gets this weapon, regardless of how mechanically beneficial it would be for them. The Sea Spear goes to who? We'll go quickly. Else, the new companion. We could give it to Robban, the aloof ranger. We could hand it to Britt Marie, the hero. Elvis, for whatever. I don't know. I just don't like Elvis very much. This character. I like real Elvis. Or we could give it to our soft-spoken librarian, Knox. This weapon is quite powerful. Whoever gets this will get a massive leg up in terms of what they are capable of doing for this group. So yeah, please vote 1 through 5. You can choose whichever character you feel like this weapon would suit the most. If you look down here, you can see that most of our characters have tier 1 or tier 2 weapons, but this is a powerful tier 3 unique weapon. I think that you can only get in this campaign. So whoever gets it will keep it for the rest of their days. But if we have no opinion, I can also just roll a die and we'll see where it ends up. So far we have 1 for Knox, 1 for Elvis. Does anyone else want to weigh in and sort of change the directive of this narrative? And um all right, so we have currently we're pretty split. Does anyone have a good argument as to why the character that they've chosen should should get the spear? I'm open to any advice or consultation from the viewers. A delay in me talking or a delay in the poll coming up? That's true. We did start with Elvis, and maybe he was at one point touched by the Gorgon spirit himself, so it might suit the narrative well for him to have this weapon, unless we have any other arguments for why Maggie the Farrier, the no noob only, should get it. We might just have to give it to Elvis in that case. All right. With nothing left to be said, Elvis, we will replace your water hook. Oh, wait, no, we don't have to replace the water hook. We can simply give it to him in his offhand weapon. The foes become stronger as many Gorgons are now coming. I guess we have to, oh my god, we have to run through a huge map to get out of here. If we have Elsa Marie open this door, awful noises and rank smells rush out of the dark. Who's going to sing our names if we die here? What if there's too many of them? We're not trapped. They're entering from a different tunnel. The creatures scuttle and skitter towards them. Our lives are in the fire together. Just choose a direction. Hush! If she's right, our way might still be open. Let's avoid as much fighting as we can. All right. Escape alive. We'll have Elsa Marie scout ahead, revealing, oh god, a lot of enemies. Luckily, her bone construct can move to protect her. Robban will approach, still invisible, and will throw out her traps. We'll have Robban move a little closer. hopefully remaining anonymous as Elvis approaches the rest of the group. We could have him interface with this tentacle to throw out more rocks, which seems to be working for us so far. We'll throw it at this guy over here. The rock might bounce from creature to creature to creature. We'll have him throw another rock. Why not? All right. Nox will approach. At this point, I mean, it feels like it makes sense for us to take more of a combative stance since there's a lot of creatures coming at us. And some of our heroes are being left behind simply by doing their job in the last fight. Oh, Lord. These people are going to become a huge problem for us unless we can deal with them. We'll have Robban move up, still invisible. Could assassinate one of these raccoons, remaining invisible. Britt Marie really just needs to run at the moment, so I think that's what we're gonna have her do. We'll remain invisible for now. If we have Elvis move through this area, his aura will kill the Rager. As he approaches the raccoon, he could just slap it with his new shiny spear. Unless for some reason he can't. Oh no, there we go. Okay, well, it's a new weapon. We can't expect him to be incredible with it just yet. We could... Okay, so we have to leave from down here. Got it. We can have Nox approach. We could have her interfuse with this tentacle. I think we'll just have her slap this guy normally, as it seems to be a bit better at the moment. Okay. Lord, this is a long fight already. The raccoon is gone, and the rest of our party can feel free to approach the situation as they will. The bone construct will lead the way. Britt Marie is quite slow, so she'll be just catching up at this point. More and more foes are coming out of the woodworks. If we have Britt Marie approach first, maybe we can see what enemies lie in the darkness ahead. Okay, maybe the coast is clear. We did a pretty good job defeating a lot of the enemies before, so we could have our heroes make a daring escape as they are running through the corrupted ground. If anything, we could throw the bone construct up and just see what lies ahead. But at this point, I think we're just gonna instead begin to flee. Are we done? Oh no, Nox. Oh, Nox is out of actions. Oh, okay, there we go. Last turn. Okie dokie. More enemies are approaching, but at this point, I don't see a reason for why we have to fight any of them. We can have Britt stand here and sort of play sentry while Elvis escapes. While Robban begins to move away. While the bone construct stays behind and distracts. I don't know if he needs to leave himself. We'll have Nox defend the rest of the group as she... sorry, we could have Britt Marie leave, but I think it would be more in her character to remain and sort of hold as the creatures come out. Elsa Marie will escape first. Nox will escape. Robban will escape. And finally, Britt Marie will leave. Oh no, the Bone Guardian does have to leave. Oh no. I'm sorry, I didn't know. More enemies approach, and the Bone Guardian goes down due to my ineptitude. But that Elsa Marie gets level 2. We found a common great axe, which really doesn't suit anyone, so we're just gonna salvage it. Oh wow, we could upgrade our bone collector, or we could do any. We gotta upgrade the bone collector. No, I think the bone collector is something that will appear in every in every new like map. I feel like she makes a new one every travel. I don't think it's something we need to worry about. We left that canyon and cave behind. The enemy's treasure in our hands. We should be joyful, but we know a clash is coming. I believe we'll look back on these days with pride and wonder what triumph. But winning one hill doesn't decide anything. We can only hope the small victory buys us time, as enemies lurk in the darkness. But with that, 11 years of peace follow, which seems like a crazy long time for the Gorgons to lay in wait, but that is exactly what happens. Some of the enemies grow less powerful as time wears them down like rocks. And wow, some of our characters have grayed quite quickly. Your garden's impressive. Does that mark give you, powers? Not that I know of. Though, if you had to ask the neighbors, there was something strange about the fireflies around Robban's cottage at night. Someone stops Elsa on the road. We should help them when we can. I found you. Mystics in the primal altar need help. Oh, I don't know, I'm choking on. During the years of peace, Elvis carried one large bedroll upon his back. Robban a jug of wine on theirs, and they snuck off to the hills for some time to enjoy the views in each other's company. Elsa Marie noticed that the library at Snowglyph had fallen into disrepair during the conflict, so she passes the summer helping to rebuild it. Britt Marie and Knox meet in a nice stone cabin. Sometimes I worry that once times were peaceful, we wouldn't have anything left to talk about. We could always gossip about Elvis. One golden verdant morning, Knox and Britt were married. Folks of Snowglyph gathered a few miles from the road and hung paper scarves on the wedding tree the couple chose. I never knew what you're thinking. You know that. You'll always intrigue me. Thinking of the time we slept out here and maybe tonight sneaking out early? An all-day feast would follow. Knox and Britt's marries Knox and Britt's daughter has reached a secret daughter has reached age. Catherine Raspivest has joined Jailhouse crew as a warrior. Their adopted daughter has joined our crew as a warrior. But she seems to have a few abilities that a spellcaster might have. So maybe she will pick this, a blood link, which lets her connect with an ally to keep them protected. And over these 11 years of peace, Nox's transformation continues to spread, called the Sylvan Heart, allowing themselves to give themselves a couple of bonuses during combat. At this point, we can make some stronger weapons for some of our characters here. I'll quickly just blaze through this if people don't mind. Britt Marie has been known as a nice protector. Maybe we should finally get her a shield to keep the enemies away. Beyond that, we could give something. Could also give a shield to Elsa Marie to keep her safe during these trying times. Perfect. Every other character seems very well equipped, except for Nox, who's still using a pretty bad staff. We'll just upgrade that, spending some of our legacy points. Oh, that's a really great aesthetic, I think. All right. And with that, I believe that it is time to continue the journey. But we could... Oh, no. I don't really like her in that armor. We could spend 2 legacy points to create nicer armor for ourselves. Okay! With that, some storms batter compromise into competitive neighborhoods. Grudges are no shelter in bitter weather. The rain has been falling for a full week with brief interludes of tense, massing clouds and dripping branches. Mountain snows melt and water roars from its heights. The sea whirled and wrung at the shores, flung waves even further. Rivers conquered their banks and marched wider, valleys turned to huge brackish lakes. Lowland woods and the dams of dry times were swept away as creatures of all shapes and kinds sought escape from churning floods. You think our Ulstryx poisoned the weather? After all this time, why? How? With what? This is a new character. The daughter of Nox and Britt Marie. Does what kind of a voice does she have? Does anyone have any suggestions for what she should sound like? I am open to literally any suggestion. Nox is sort of this more like I just try and speak with like the vocal fry that some some people have, and Brit is of course me doing my Katniss Everdeen, my best Jennifer Lawrence impression. Uh, I don't really remember what she sounds like, but I can certainly try. Katniss is basically what oh God. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, yes. Yeah. What does she sound like these days? I feel like anytime I think of Jennifer Lawrence, I always remember her as being like very panicked. It always feels like she's always out of breath and talking very quickly. And she kind of looks like, I mean, she kind of, yeah, let's go with it. I am telling you, it's, well, who else could have done this? It's probably not the right tone for the dialogue. But we see the creatures in the dark. Nothing's ever made sense about this, but oh, someone's at the door. The strange party of visitors begs a fire. They appear to be on the edge here in a common dwelling and also very soggy. Horse? God, yeah, I've misremembered. I can certainly try. Thank you, Woodpecker, for giving me Jennifer Lawrence voice acting tips. I appreciate it. Arnon, you say we're natural allies. Care to explain? The the haggard man behind the horns, calling himself Arnon, takes a long breath and turns to address Nox and the rest. Ask my wife. They all look at each other. Ask my wife. She sent me. Can you believe that at my advanced age? I grew up here in wounded cobble, you know. It looks a bit different. His 2 underlings shift and resettle their garments as they dry out. Must be about the flooding. Nah. You know why the... Oh, it's maybe 2 horse. No, everyone knows. It's those tentaclasts, the Gorgons. They bring ruin on us all. Which Gorgons? Is that 2 horse? Oh, Nasally. Yeah, maybe. Nasally. Oh, this... Which... wait. Hello. Which Gorgons? This one looks like my best Steve Urkel impression. Ah, they're blue. That checks out. But, I mean, who's there? The Gorgons are flooding the world. They've set it in motion and it can't be stopped. Almost. How? None of this should be possible. I mean, the rain, the melt, the sea. You're right. It shouldn't be. The great balance should be unassailed. But somehow they've thrown it over. So the torrent falls, the seas thrash, and soil seeps black down our warrens. Ulstryx.
Is it Ulstryx? I know it would be. Ulstryx. No, it's the Gorgons, I'm saying. The beasts have our warren hemmed in. My wife's inside, dry and warm. You need to talk to her. Hemmed in, but you slipped by them. It's why it had to be me. I'm a master at lopping in the light. I tend to be missed.
You speak as a slant, though through lying whiskers.
My whiskers might be sly, but my lips are honest.
says every says every fuckboy ever.
I'm Arnon. He certainly gives us options. A strange one, but the weather, these floods, what else can we go on? If you want to watch the world sink beneath a rising sea, watch all land things perish, then you're exactly where you need to be. But if you see sense,
Puts down a wet piece of paper on the table. Arnon thuds a lumped, soaked fabric on the table.
here's it's wet. I mean it's a map. Sorry, it'll dry all crinkly.
That's why pirate maps always look so fucked up, I guess.
Follow the map. Come to our warren. There, learn for yourselves how you can deflect this drowning doom in the land's all sail.
I think Lawrence turned into a smiling friends character. I'm happy I could entertain you, but I'll prepare my Jennifer Lawrence impression another day. But for now, I think we're just gonna have to see what happens.